I've been really interested in how the mind works and, consciousness. Basically sort of take the story back. In 2017 I had a bit of a breakdown, I lost a relationship, got divorced and stuff, and really had an all-time low. Was drinking too much, decided to go on a path of no alcohol at the time, and really started to sort of try and work out, why do I feel like this way? I had a lot of depression, couldn't get out of bed, really suffering with a lot of anxiety, depression and everything else. And it made me sort of start researching things. I'd done a level 4 diploma in hypnotherapy and psychotherapy and stuff. Started getting into that, and then the learning process went, and I just wanted to learn more and more about stuff. So sort of 2017, 2018, I started looking into. I come across ayahuasca. I think I actually see it on a Joe Rogan podcast, and was very intrigued, and it was sort of something that I wanted to do, but sort of couldn't really. I wasn't ready to step out. Then I suppose sort of a couple of years passed. I lost my mother earlier on this year, and it really started making me sort of wonder what life's all about. Started researching different places, come across your website on, was it Facebook? Or, no, actually it might have been on YouTube, I think, and got in contact with you, decided to bite the bullet and come out earlier this month for, I think we discussed at the beginning, I was going to come out for a week, and then thought, well, actually, let's make it 2. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to deal with. So glad that I actually done that, and just come out after discussing with you. I thought yes, definitely the place to come, and it was sort of like a little bit of a calling, really. It was like, I think this is the time to do it, and make contact, and here I am.
And how was it? How has this 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, I mean, the first week was very, very hard for me. The first week was, especially, we had a lovely group, an amazing group of 6 of us. We all got on well, and a couple of the guys, the first night had an amazing experience. The second night, one of the other guys had this, all out experience and sort of knew what life was about. And I was like, well, all I'm seeing is some really dark stuff, I had a lot of purging. Every time, everything was sort of black and grey and, sort of dark. And after speaking to yourself and the shamans, they said, you've got some deep stuff inside you, you need to shift that. I asked Mother Ayahuasca during one of the ceremonies, I was like, I've had enough of this, show me the love, show me a bit of light here. And she basically just said, you're not ready for it yet. You've got to get rid of all this stuff before we can go there. So yeah, I bared with it. The first week was, as I say, very, very sort of hard, dark, a struggle. It took a lot out of me, really. And I had a really strange experience on the Thursday, which was the night before the last ceremony on the first week. And I had this vision of my sister in hospital, which I thought was really strange, as I was going through the process. The next day I spoke to my daughter and found out that my sister had tried to commit suicide, and she was in hospital, which was really like, wow. To me, it really hit home. It was like, there is definitely something in this. Second week, we started the second week, and things started changing, which was really good. The purging, even though the purging was still there, it wasn't the dark, the dark evil stuff, and it seemed easier to process and get through. And I started seeing some different things. It sounds crazy to some people, but I see my mum in the vision. I said to her, where's Dad? Dad's been gone 22 years, and Dad appeared, and that was really, that really hit home. It was like, yeah, they're together. So for me, it was like I'm glad she's found him, and it was a very deep loving experience. And the next day things started to lighten up for me. In the ceremonies, everything got a lot brighter. I started feeling the love, a lot more. I felt sort of so much lighter in the process, and just found things were slowly sort of coming away, and things were changing. I mean, the last ceremony we done, which would have been my 8th ceremony, I decided to go up and had a near on full cup. That was a very challenging night for me, but I still got a lot out of it. I see some good things, And coming out near the end of the ceremony when the shaman was, I think it was Renato, was it Renato?
Benigno.
Benigno was doing the end of ceremony cleansing. I just felt so much love, you know, so much love. And, you know, I kept making it sounds silly, but the love side, and I just felt just so happy. And that was obviously Friday. Today's Monday, we go home today. And since Friday, I've just felt this, you know, just total at peace with myself. Like a peace that I can't remember feeling, you know. It's been a long time, you know. I think over the years, I've had a lot of anger inside me, always had to right every wrong, and now I just feel, you know, I just want to share the love with everyone. I just want to grab everyone and give them a cuddle. It's crazy. Yeah, really looking forward to going home and integrating what I've learned here into my new life, because it does feel like a new life. You know, there was a point in the last ceremony where, I mean, I've read a lot about it, you know, the ego death, and I did think at one point it was so strong, oh God, am I coming back from this? And then suddenly, boom, it was like an electrical charge went through my body, and it was like, from that moment onwards, everything's just, yeah, it's crazy. It's just changed for the better, definitely for the better. I just feel so much lighter. I was a, you know, pretty heavy drinker because, you know, well, as you know, I'm a restaurateur, a publican. I've got no desire to drink again. You know, I did think to myself, well, I have a drink when I go out. I just won't drink like I used to. But as the days have gone on, it's like totally out of my mind now. I can't even see myself drinking again, you know, which for me is amazing, you know. It's something that I thought I'd always be, you know, managed by, and I couldn't get away from. And this present moment in time is just like, it's the last thing, you know. I just don't want to lose this feeling. This feeling's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I've learned so much, you know, since I've been here. Definitely. Been good experience, definitely.
Did you feel throughout this week? Did you feel safe?
Yeah. I mean, in ceremony the first week, I felt really anxious, and you know, it's a bit scary. I kept going up the dose, lower the dose, because I wasn't sure where I wanted to be. As I say, it was quite dark, but I think it was definitely necessary that I had to get rid of the darkness before I could see the light. But the actual development itself, I mean, you know, considering we're, you know, all right, we're not totally in the middle of the jungle, but we're in the jungle. Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, sort of navigating around, you know, with head torches at night and insects, bugs, things flying around. You know, I've never been a great lover of all that sort of stuff, and totally, like, I mean, before, if a spider ran across me, I'd have to stamp on it. Now I'm like, no, it's got its job, you know, and there's no fear there at all, which is another really strange thing, really, bearing in mind how I was before I come out here. Right.
What do you think about the food?
The food was amazing. Yeah, really good. Yeah. I mean, she's done me proud, really, because at the beginning I suffered because, you know, I was quite a big eater, and obviously with the dieta, we have to cut everything down, and I found that, you know, for me at the beginning it wasn't enough, but she gave me a little bit extra, looked after me, and yeah, obviously when we break the dieta for them days in between, I mean, the food was amazing. You know, I'd never been a rice person, and you know, the flavours she gets out, you know, in the rice is, I mean, obviously being a restaurateur as well, you do wonder, and you know, how you can develop different dishes and stuff, and it's been yeah. I mean, I was a big red meat eater. Pork is one of the things that I've been told I need to stay away from. Absolutely loved pork, but if I have to stay away from it, I have to stay away from it. And I must admit, yeah, even though, you know, apart from the chicken and the fish, which I love anyway, I don't miss the red meat, and don't think I will miss the pork, to be fair. Yeah, the food's been great, and it's given me some, you know, inspiration into creating some other dishes when I get back, you know, for the restaurant, and yeah, try and some more healthy options, shall we say. Yeah, it's good.
What do you think is the main lessons you've learned during the take back?
I mean, the lessons I've learned is, I think there's no point having anger among, you know, there's no point dwelling on things that are especially in your past, which I always used to do. I used to always look back going, you know, this person's maybe this person's maybe that. It's just be in the moment, you know, being here. Nothing around you. There's no TVs. There's no, You know, there's no game shows, there's no or anything really. You're just here with nature. It's just to appreciate nature. I mean, I always have, you know, loved it. I'm surrounded by woods where I live, and you know, I do spend some time with my dog in the woods and stuff, and try and enjoy it. But yeah, it's just to appreciate the now. You know, don't look back and don't look too far forward, because there's no need. You know, as long as you're in the present, I think it just yeah, it's a heartwarming place to be.
Would you recommend it to others?
Oh, without doubt, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm so glad. I did have that feeling when I booked it here anyway. I mean, I was looking at some other places and it was big groups, and I wanted a smaller group, and that's what I love about this place is, you know, I mean, I think the biggest group you do is up to about 8. We had 6 last week, 3 of us this week. So, yeah, the group size was perfect. I mean, last week was a perfect size. This week, you know, being 3 felt a bit weird actually, being a little bit less, but yeah, it's there's a lot of energy in the room when you're having the ceremonies, and you don't want too much, you know, energy sort of disrupting what you're trying to go through at that present time, because it's not, you know, it's not recreational what we do out here. It's hard work, but the reward is, yeah, I mean, I just feel, I don't know, I just can't stop smiling. I just feel so much, yeah, love and happiness, and can't wait to get home and, you know, see my loved ones and catch up with them, and yeah, show them, you know, I just want to show them love, and just show them, you know, how different a person I feel, and hopefully I'll reflect that, you know, in life when I go home and integrate everything in, and show them how much I've changed, you know, over that short period of time, you know, just that 2-week window, which is, for me, it's life-changing. Yeah, it's fantastic. I loved it. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
You all right? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Voy limpiando de tu cuerpo, auguicindo con las plantas naturales, ayahuasca, medicina, chamunguna, tus poderes, sinchi, sinchi, cuerpecindo, alalaiririririr. Me voy protegiendo a tu cuerpo con y manta, iluminando tu cuerpo. Me voy limpiando en tu cuerpecito, que la paz y la tranquilidad y manta te acompañe donde quiera que te encuentre, cuermongona, wauquicindo, aire. Energías de las plantas, chamón.